Yo, this is Steve Bloom, and you're watching Moana Nui Podcast. We'll be starting soon. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Veronica Taylor, and from myself and Ash Ketchum, I just want to say, Moana Nui, I choose you!
Aloha, everyone. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Moana Nui Podcast. We're so excited to have you with us today for our special guest for this particular episode. But of course, for those that are new and tuning in to us either on our Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, let us introduce ourselves. I am Dana, the other half of the Moana Nui podcast. I am also an event planner, a con and cosplay photographer, voice actor, and a whole lot more. And to my right, the lovely, the Renaissance woman of this time, the other half of the Moana Nui podcast, but also the brains of this podcast and so much more. And let's hand it over to the wonderful and lovely Moana.
I don't know if I'm the entire brains, but I will say I'll go with half. We're half.
Okay.
I can't operate without my Dana. So aloha, everybody. It's good to see all of you again and be back on the show. I think it's been a good minute since Dana and I have been able to jump on together with everything that has been going on in our lives. But I am grateful and excited to be with my sis and be with all of you guys tonight. We have a wonderful guest that we are going to be sharing his Kickstarter, talking about it a little bit. But quickly before we do that, I just wanted to say to everyone who backed our Kickstarter for Shadows of the Ancient, thank you so much. We're going to be working on packing and shipping things this weekend. Hoping Ryan's feeling better so he can make the trek to me. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really, really excited to finally get our books out to our backers after many, many long logistical waits.
Yes.
So with that said, let's bring our guest on. Deji has been on our show before, and he's actually one of our backers for Shadows of the Ancient, and we're really excited to have him back on. We enjoyed his show the last time, and we want to share with you all his newest project that is currently live on Kickstarter. So with that said, let's bring him on.
Hello, Deji.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Now,
What's going on?
he likes to keep himself in mystery, so this is why you're seeing the illusion on the screen, because it's all about the project, not him.
That's right. That's right. That's how we're gonna roll with that.
Yes, it is.
I like that.
Oh man.
Deji has an old phone.
That's right. What was I watching?
Deji's phone is outdated.
Like I said, if
Then
it
she
ain't
got a
broke,
flip
you know,
phone.
you keep it going. Keep it going. Well, of course, Deji, welcome back to our show. For those in the audience that don't know you and get introduced to you for the first time, let's start with your Pico or your origin story. Tell us a little about yourself and where you are from.
All right. Thank you so much. I am Deji. I work currently for Microsoft as a technical lead. I've been writing since I was about 7, 8, 9, just changing any movie I movie to the ending so it fits something I prefer, or trying to impress my older sisters, or just writing for the sake of it. But I always would bring these stories to my sister, like, oh, what do you think? She's like, oh, this is great. I just don't have any money to give you to shoot it. That's always her answer. So I started taking writing a little more serious after I tried to write a more smaller budget film that ended up being pretty good, and we shot it last year. So I decided to start actually writing some of my bigger budget stories and see if I can put it in a easier format that wouldn't cost me $200 million. But yeah, so I started with Old Kingdom Come. I like to write on the side. I'm into tech stuff too, but I think my passion is more like creating on this side.
Nice.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I remember a little bit from our first show.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about that. What are your favorite genres to write?
Oh man, that's a good one. Now, especially after doing fatherhood, I think I like outside of this fantasy, which would be this for this one. I think I would like introspective thrillers, I guess. I really like stuff like that because like there's a lot of logic behind it, and you're keeping the audience guessing at every moment. I really love stuff like that, and there's a lot of depth in it. So I guess it would be like an introspective thriller. That'd be my favorite one to write. And I haven't even done it yet, and I know it's my favorite.
Nice.
That's probably my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice. So for our listeners so they can know more about your family and where you're from, what are 3 fun facts about you or where you're from?
Oh man. Okay. I think the first is that I was born here and I kind of got shipped off at 10. And so I had a culture shock there to adjust. There being Nigeria, sorry. And then second fun fact. I don't know if anyone's ever been to a Nigerian wedding. They're like 2 days long. That's always fun. Nigerian weddings are like 2 days. The celebrations last like 2 days. So that one's fun. And my late father was in like the chieftaincy stuff for our town. So that's probably another fun fact. Yeah.
Awesome. So now I gotta ask, like, what all is involved in a 2-day Nigerian
wedding? Oh man. Boy. First, now we've modernized a bit, but you got to have your own photo shoot, you and your groomsmen for your end, and then the wife and her bridesmaids will have their photo shoot, and then the traditional they split into traditional and I guess they'd call it a white wedding, a traditional white wedding, which is more I guess like a Western wedding. So the traditional comes first typically, and then that's when everybody wears their native garb.
Okay.
And then they bring this lady, which is like the MC, and they call her in my culture, the Yorubas, they call her the Alagajoko, I believe. Alagajoko would be the term. And you play like these little fun games with your parents there, which is always awkward. But they'll make you like, they'll make like the wife will like kneel in front of the parents, and then the husband will kneel in front of his in-laws. Then you got to take a picture with them, but really, what's the word? A really intimate picture. So you like have your arm around your father-in-law, and with the respect thing, it's weird because why do I have my arm around this man? So, but they're like fun games. They'll make the husband dance. They'll make the wife dance. They'll make the wife dance with a hat in the air. They'll start like adding like hurdles to make it difficult. They make both sides dance. A lot of dancing. The dancing doesn't stop. Lots and lots of dancing. So, and that's my daughter.
He wants to dance.
And that's my oldest.
That's awesome.
But a lot of dancing, a lot of games. What is the other? Oh yeah, and then the feeding. You feed each other. What's the funnest one among the games? Yeah, I think seeing your in-laws both forced to dance for like not like a minute, like 3, 5, 7 minutes. Just them, and they're like, keep dancing, keep dancing. So yeah, it's definitely fun. It's a lot of dancing.
That's really cool.
Nice. Now, of course, with your new project on Kickstarter that you're currently funding, of course, we talked about in our last episode that you're incorporating several African kingdoms. And for those that are watching for the first time, which kingdoms are you including in the story, and what did your selection process look like?
Okay, that's an awesome question. So outside of like honoring the ones that actually exist, I didn't use them to the core story just because there's a lot of betrayal and stuff like that. But I used a lot of identities. So like a lot of things that would be like obvious to someone from that tribe. They'll see that in another tribe. So I used like the Zari. You'll see a lot of identities from my tribe. Because we're said to be like, oh, tight-fisted and stuff like that. But I called this tribe the Zari, so I can put other identities from other tribes as well. I want to make sure not to piss anybody off. But yeah, a lot of identities from each tribe will be seen for the most part.
Nice.
Cool. So, as you're creating a story like this that is rooted in a lot of culture and history, I'm sure that there is like a ton of research needed, beyond your own firsthand experience. Tell us a little bit about your process and like which sources were most impactful in developing your world and your story.
Oh, incredible. So I got very lucky. The historians that I reached out to regarding that civilization, I got to speak to every single one of them.
Nice.
I reached out to Runoko Rashidi. He's a big one. Very easy to reach. Amazing historian. I reached out to Lubumi Oyinsan. She does the Sankofa series on YouTube. She's also a massive historian. They were very forthcoming with information. It was incredible. I think they were excited about that side of things being represented well. So yeah, I was able to just right on Google. I was able to message Runoko Rashidi. His phone number was there. Like what? He just picked up the phone. And I dialed it. I figured I'd get like a voicemail. Call us later. He's like, "Yep, hello, this is Dr. Runoko Rashidi." I'm like, "Huh? How?"
Right.
He just picked up the phone, man, and he wasn't like, "Call me later" or anything like that. He answered my questions right there, so I should call him anytime.
Wow.
Incredible. He passed.
I was just
late late last year. I would have loved him to see it, but yeah, incredible guy, absolutely incredible. Very forthcoming with information. You don't really see that
these days.
nowadays. Yeah, you don't. But yeah, that was probably the funnest part. Getting so much history that's very like overlapped and similar, so it was really easy to get in the right mind state for the project.
Yeah, that's really cool because I think I'm familiar with the Sankofa series. Like it's one of the ones that I had stumbled over as I was doing some research for our comic too, the Wildcard Chronicles. But yeah, I just love that there's so much information out there for African cultures. Hawaiian history is so like very, still very hidden, or I would say not yet translated as much. I'll say that.
Oh man, yeah.
So it's like oh, I gotta find the right people.
Yeah, it's true. It's really tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. So how do you so I know part of like creating based on like history and culture can be you know, you said something earlier about like I don't want to piss people off. How do you like overcome that mental block about treatment of, you know, what actually happened and taking like creative license to, you know, write your own fantasy and fiction?
Yeah, thank you. So that's a good question. With that history being so muddled, I think that would be a lot easier than the other ones that are more like, oh, this was a first-hand witness account of it. A lot of it was written from another kingdom that didn't like these guys, and they're like, oh, these guys stink. Like, oh, really? So it was a lot easier to play in that realm because there was already kind of bias towards, you know, the Kondekas and where they were buried and all that. I made sure not to go obviously too far, but it was a very comfortable box to play in without overlooking the history altogether.
Very nice. Now, of course, with your logo for O Kingdom Come, you showcase different moon phases. How does that fit into O Kingdom Come, and what is the importance of the moon in the story?
You guys are killing me.
Hey, you should know when you come on this show, we're going to ask you good questions. We're not going to do surface stuff.
All right. It is a good representation of reincarnation. So you know, the moon. You see phases of it, but it's always whole. But whatever the light shows you, it's what you can see at the time. That's it. Move on. That's it.
That's all you can give us. That's all we're gonna get.
But we want more.
And that's when he hits you with click the Kickstarter.
Click the link. Yeah, click the link.
And as right there, Moana's showing you that phases of the moon going around. I love how you encompass that so beautifully for your logo right there for this series. And
and like what I also like about it, and I don't know if this was intentional, but it almost looks like a queen with a crown.
Yes, a queen's crown. Yes,
crown, halo. Yeah, that's all I was going for.
Okay. Yes, because the lights that are right underneath the moon phase is kind of like the part
that would go
right on your forehead, you know, and then the rest is the crown.
Mission accomplished. Like going
there
down.
You go. Beautifully displayed. Yes. They ain't ready for this heat. Exactly. Because if you missed out on the last Kickstarter, you can't miss out on this one.
Right.
You're not. Yeah. You gotta get the heat on this. You got to get the heat on this.
Yes. Speaking of which, let me bring up Kickstarter.
Now, while Moana's bringing up the Kickstarter, as people will look on the Kickstarter page, you have on there that your main character has albinism.
Yeah.
What made you decide to have him with albinism being the main character?
Oh man, it fit really well. It fit really well with one, us being the audience would kind of be the outsiders in this situation. Tell me, you want this?
He was like, "Hey, go ahead and make this book into a series. We're going to take Sandman down." That I got all of that in that statement. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, sorry. It fit really well with us being the outsiders looking in. the series, and I have a close friend that has albinism. He lives in the UK. But I like the concept of this outsider that's watching both sides of this happen, and how a different way to look at people with albinism. So it's not like the whole story isn't about him having albinism. It's just another African with albinism. There's a huge albinism community in Africa, and there's been some threats in other countries regarding them. So maybe if we can normalize the way they're seen, maybe we can help down the line.
Oh, okay.
Is it like with the threats? Because I know some old tales within some countries, and may not be Africa, but may have this. But I know other countries have had it, that if someone is found, you find someone with that, and you get the blood of them or
Yeah,
different
some
parts.
ritual stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're
It
like
wasn't supposed
taking
to be
off their
literal.
right hand, and it's like take off their right arm, and you
Yeah.
bestow this type of honor onto your village and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
exactly. So that's exactly one of the reasons it was how, like, and that's a lot of what the series is about, like how something that might have just a decision that was made in the moment becomes a ritual for an entire culture years down the line. It's a concept I wanted to like explore with that as well. So it fit all that. Something that just happened like someday, and then like, oh, this is what we do now. this is our god. So so that was something I really wanted to explore.
Gotcha. Let's see. So, inside of your Kickstarter, you have a couple of different proverbs. For example, one who understands the corrupt will surely be corrupted in time. Were these proverbs influenced by like some of the proverbs from within actual tribes in Africa, or how did you decide to incorporate them into your story?
Yes, it's a mix. That one in particular is just me thinking too much in my own head. But yeah, a lot of them is proverbs. You know, sometimes you're just talking to your grandma and they say something and you're like, that is profound, ma'am. That is heavy stuff right there. And they're like, yes, just a normal day. So
the wisdom
a lot of this really is unmatched.
At the most interesting times. Yes.
Yeah, it's really unmatched. You just put it on paper for them, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's absolutely influenced by Yoruba proverbs, Igbo proverbs. I had one from Chinwe Adichie in there. He wrote Things Fall Apart. I made sure to say that one was from him. That wasn't from me. But yeah, they're all like a big pot, just influencing each other. All the proverbs, I love all of them because outside of them making you think more about something, they always point you to a different perspective, and I feel like that's very important.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice. So of course, Moana has your Kickstarter page, everybody. So definitely check that out. There is just a few days left. 3 days left that you can support this Kickstarter. Don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on this. And you're like, you start hearing us talk about it, or you hear about this on Malachi Corner, and you're like, why didn't I hear about this? No. If you heard about it today, you click on that link. Go ahead, whether it's a digital copy, physical copy, definitely get your copy of this series. And as Moana scrolling through it, can you tell us about some of your Kickstarter tiers that people have the opportunity to pledge on for this particular Kickstarter? Because I know the last Kickstarter you had some nice things on your Kickstarter, and I'd love for you to go ahead and tell people what they can expect on this Kickstarter from your different tiers.
Yes. Yeah. So there's starts with a digital tier, and that's going to be about 84 pages. I think part of the issue 0 plus like issue 1 and 2 all together. And then the next tier, Eyes on You, would be the first physical book with that Moon Horizon cover. It looks amazing and when it was printed. Let's see here. Then the one I really like as well is the Moonlight one. And that's when they start putting mask rewards on there. And then after Moonlight, it's the Lust one, which comes like the Lust cover. It's like of the Queen from the book that from the first issue. She's on there. And then that same tier, there's a Greed version with the King. And that'll be the covers for both of those. And those both come with masks. We hit like 2 stretch goals, so everyone's getting some extra prints. I really want to hit that last one. There's this really cool bookmark I wanted to do. So hopefully we can hit that one so I can give out those bookmarks. I think it'll be cool to have.
Yes.
I really like the perspective on that cover on the right.
Really? Yeah. That was awesome. I was like,
you don't really see that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I was like, Clovis, can we do like a Bane thing? They like hold Oh man, Clovis is I put him to the ringer with this, but he's really happy with the work.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks great.
Thank you so much.
But I love like how you were talking about each cover. Each of them had basically what they call cardinal sin. You got your lust, you got greed, and everything. Was that intentional?
Yes. That's it. I'm on.
That's all.
I'm on
like, you're not gonna catch me slipping. Moana Nui Podcast. You're not gonna.
You caught me slipping last time. Oh my god. I watched it back and I was like, why did I say all that?
He was like, I am just going to be like, dangle the bait. Like that? Okay. Legend, you get to learn more. Get all that information later. I love these pictures of like you and with people getting your books at the different cons and events and stuff.
That was at the Africa con. That was really fun.
Nice. So along with that, because I know like last Kickstarter, you gave out some really authentic, like for some of the tiers that you got this bracelet from Africa that was especially made for your Kickstarter, which was like so amazing. What other like things that you can only get in your Kickstarter? Like they may come to you and see you at the con. You can get the book, but you're not going to get these things because this was exclusively for the Kickstarter only.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the really cool ones are the Maui beads. That's further down the tier. It's like a necklace, the necklace that Maui is supposed to be wearing, which is that character. And then the other one is the Arukara. I don't know what the English name of the Arukara is, and I've had different. It's like a what a king and the Yoruba kings use as a staff. It has like feathers on it.
Okay.
It's white. It has feathers on it. It has like a pearl handle. So that one right there. So that's what that one and the necklace would be something that'd be very hard to find.
That's cool.
So yes, and especially those, y'all know Black Panther's coming out in November.
You want
you
that
can
at
go
the
ahead
premiere.
And display
Don't
that.
slip.
Walk into the theater.
Don't
with
slip.
That, and no one else can get it. You can't get that on Amazon. You can't get that on Etsy.
Tell them. You can't.
Yes. So
That's
pledge and get that and come to the Black Panther screenings and showings to the 9s for that. Because we know y'all did that for the first movie. And y'all planning stuff for the second movie.
That's right.
It's even better to have these authentic beads and that staff to come walking in on and just have everybody know.
Yes.
They're going to be like, Shuri? Where's Shuri? You get that from Shuri? No. I got this from Deji. Who's Deji? Here's the link. Go to that link. You can't get that from him now, but wait until the next Kickstarter.
That's right.
So don't miss out on that.
In any of your own research, have you ever discovered any connections between Nigerian culture and Pacific, like Hawaiian, Polynesian culture at all?
Oh man, so the biggest one I found, and it always gets kind of dicey in my comments, is the war helmet. There was a war helmet that was very similar to I forgot what the actual tribe was from, but there was a war helmet that was very similar, and the tattooing, which is the scarification. So how could that have evolved or changed over time? It's hard. It's really always hard to say, right? But the scarification and the battle helmets. Those are two things that I found. Everything else is kind of a reach. It's kind of, you got to be careful. You kind of once you get down that rabbit hole, you start going like, "What is this, huh?
Right.
Aliens? Why are we here?"
Hey, it's one of those that, like, especially like me and Moana, with especially the Hawaiians, and you have certain cultures of the Pacific Islands that traveled all over BSC. So it is a high chance that a lot of these cultures got influenced by, the Pacific Islanders that traveled or came through or even settled in their country. So, like every country, they're influenced by some other country that's been there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone, definitely, you have 3 days to definitely pledge, support this Kickstarter. Let's go ahead and get the stretch goal, because yes, he has definitely hit the goal. But as we know, we got to go ahead and hit it strong all the way to the finish line for these Kickstarters, because we definitely want to give full life to them. And this is a wonderful project to definitely support, especially those that are looking for more projects. Because one thing a lot of people and things that we always talk about is supporting these indie projects like this, that is giving voice and giving a view into these cultures that are hardly ever seen in books and in comics, but also not seen in the way that the people want to see them. It's usually written from someone else's perspective of that culture, and is not giving a true life or true view of that culture at all. So definitely support, pick this one up and get hooked up. And yes, for the culture. Exactly. Exactly.
I like this one. A river that forgets its source will surely
dry up. Thank you. Yes. And I know that tends to be something that a lot of people talk about, is like trying to reconnect to your roots and things like that. But you have to also find books that are written from people from those countries and did their due diligence, and not just, write just anything, because man, there's some far-fetched stuff, like, there's,
I see 'em.
no way that the Africans and the Hawaiians could have built such buildings. Those were aliens.
Aliens from Zeta Capra or something.
Exactly. And the Mayans, I was like, why is it always the people of color that their stuff is aliens, but we don't hear? Well, of course, y'all learned all of that from us too. But anyway.
Right.
So yeah, learn from this, people that are from those cultures that did their research, like Deji, doing the research of these tribes that are currently in Africa, but also the ones that are no longer there, that you get a taste of what these cultures about are in this particular book that he's written. So definitely make sure you pick up your copy, whether it's a digital copy or physical copy. Definitely pick up your copy today. Pledge today. Don't say, "Oh, I'm going to do it later," because we all know something pops up, you forget, things happen, and then all of a sudden you find out the Kickstarter's closed, And we don't want to see you bombarding Deji's email and everything like, hey, I missed your Kickstarter. Can I still pledge? No, Kickstarter said it's closed.
Oh, man.
Right.
The people we doing that.
That did happen last time.
Yeah, like, oh, I forgot. Yeah. Oh.
Like you had a whole month.
No.
You had a whole month.
Yes.
So don't one thing I tell people is like go ahead and pledge for a level that you're thinking about. But if it's like, hey, you come back, it's like, no, I want to upgrade my pledge. You can do that all the way up to the edge. Upgrade it to the next level. It's like, ooh, I got that bonus. Let me go ahead and get the biggest package because I want that staff to take to the Black Panthers screening.
So silly.
Like,
they almost tried to take the staff from me in the airport too.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was flying like this can be a weapon. I'm like, it's their feathers.
I mean, did you take it from Gandalf?
What you take it from? There you go. Perfect.
It's my walking stick.
I did not think of that.
Because somebody be walking in there with that staff with Gandalf. It's like, oh, it's Gandalf.
Oh, it's Gandalf. He can go. He can go.
It's Harry Potter.
Oh man.
No.
So, do you have add-ons on this campaign, Deji? Like, or
yeah,
is it the reward tiers?
Yeah, there's add-ons. I put like a picture of all the add-ons, like the masks, bookmarks.
Oh, great! Did I miss
print.
that? Hold on.
What else did I put on the? Yeah, I think it's bookmarks, prints, masks, choice of cover, the 9.
Great. Okay. So which one is actually like the main cover of the book? Is it
so the main cover of the book is going to be the one?
This one?
No, not that one. So that will come in, and that's where the choice comes in, right? So you can pick what comes in with the inner cover, but the main cover is, I think it's further down there. Because I know a lot of people are getting the lust and the greed ones. So you either get that, not that greed one, the other greed one. Let's see. So I still need to work on my Kickstarter clarity. I still need to work on that.
Let's see. Did I pass it? Maybe.
It should be in that add-ons picture.
Okay.
Yeah. So further down. So that's the one you guys. That's issue 01. So that's not going to be it. Yeah. And that's going to be the lust cover. It won't be moving. There's no technology that allows for that. I looked.
Okay.
And then that's the greed one on the right. And then if you look further down, let's see. That's the greed one. That one. So that one will be the outside of the cover, the loyal to man one, and on the inside will be your choice.
I got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I would definitely put the main cover up at the top, so that people know. But it is a nice cover.
Like that.
Yeah. Dope. Gotcha. Yeah. So in order to get the beads, you have to get is the beads in the add-on, or you can only get it in the tier?
They were not in the add-on,
Okay.
but I can definitely add it to the add-ons.
Gotcha.
Y'all hear that? Yeah. Y'all hear that? Y'all can get your beads.
Yeah, I can add it to the add-ons.
They're gonna be like Okoye beads. Yes. Black Panther forever. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be on this kick for the rest of this time. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I can definitely add it to the add-ons.
You know me, I'm over here. I'm like trying to make my own tier. I'm like,
I need a special tier, VIP tier. Where's Where's that one, huh? Where is it?
Like, okay, I got to make sure I get the beads. Let me go ahead and get that staff. Get an official outfit, from one of the tribes. Yep, let me go ahead and get that as an add-on too. Have that just in time for Black Panther.
Right. Yeah. Like I definitely want that cover that I said was unique, like where the guy with why am I blanking on his name? Mawu.
Oh, the one that was on the right that had the moon phase that was right above him.
Yes, let me find it. Sorry if I'm making everybody dizzy.
Yeah, right here. There it is. Yes. Yeah, the one on the far right.
What cover is that, Deji?
That's the Mawu cover.
Mawu cover, okay. So
I'll get that all clarified probably when I do the survey.
Yeah.
To see what special cover everybody would like.
Got it. Okay. So when you back the tier of choice, then you get to choose your cover. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice. That's fun.
I mean, and that's gonna be your only time when you see Deji at the cons. You're gonna get it as is. You're not gonna have no choice.
Right.
Like, but I want my inside. Nah, you should have pledged at the Kickstarter. This is what you can do. You could buy that cover and combine the two books. Then you have the cover inside.
Oh, see now. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this.
Yeah. Moana's making a list of everything she wants to add on to her tier. But yeah, like I said, don't sleep on this because the last Kickstarter had these. It was so amazing. The books came out beautifully. Everything that came with the tiers was gorgeous and done so nicely. So don't miss out on this. Jump on this, pledge, make sure you get the one that definitely works for you, and support this Kickstarter because we definitely don't want to be one of those that regret it. Can't.
Right.
And of course, you seeing these awesome pictures, so this way you can go ahead and get some cosplays together. You're going to come to the cons and they're like, what is this? Let me tell you about O Kingdom Come. This character is from, and then boom, hit them with the 1 and 2 on that. And like, oh, you're interested in getting a copy? Go to https://okingdomcome.com.
Well, you gotta get HTTPS so you don't mess it up too.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask you something, Moana. So when I was doing research, like even just translations, Google had it wrong. Have you seen that with your languages?
Yes.
Like
Google Translate. Yeah. I mean, and I wasn't sure if it was just like Hawaiian language because there's a lot of nuance in the one word can mean different things based on the context of which it's being used, which I'm sure is very similar for a lot of indigenous languages. So I tried to shortcut, because I wanted to translate, my books are bilingual, my children's books. But I was like, no, I can't just trust Google. Like, it's great to get you to a certain point. Yeah. But I'm like, no, this can't be just Google. So I gave to my translator,
awesome,
who is helping me, and she she changed up some stuff, and I'm like, oh, phew, I'm so glad.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, there's some things you just don't want to shortcut, especially when you're trying to be respectful of your own culture and language, and you gotta take care with that stuff because whether you intend to or not, you are educating people along the way. So
yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
That is so very true because I even remember with Spanish, you have the different dialects, and I have told some of my friends about this. I know, the basic Spanish, and usually if someone asks me "qué pasa," I know nada, which means nothing much or nothing, and if someone is from the Polynesian, not Polynesian, but the Portuguese
Yeah.
portion, nada means swim to them. So I have a
Wow.
team that speaks Portuguese, and so
Uh-huh.
they'll ask me, they try to work with me on my Spanish, and they're like, "Que pasa?" And I'm like, "Nada." And so this whole entire for 2 years, they thought every day I swam every day. And so when I finally met them, they were like, "So where, show us where you swim." I was
Where
like,
do you swim from every time? Oh no.
No, I don't swim every day. They were like, "Oh, yeah." When we talked to you, I was like, "No, I meant nothing much, nothing much. No, me swim every day. No." I know I'm from the islands, but no, I don't swim here like that. No. The
Yeah,
water here
even
is
Clovis,
different.
Brazil Portuguese is very different from Portugal Portuguese.
Yes.
Yes.
He
Yes.
said that, oh, they're so fancy with their Portuguese. I
Yeah,
thought
it's funny because when I was in Brazil, and I was like, it kind of sounds like Spanish, but it's not Spanish. It's like they would say, just like then they would speak to me, and I was just like, because I didn't want to speak Spanish because I know it's not Spanish, like. But I was like, let's talk in English, because there are Hawaiian connections into Brazil for sure.
Yes.
Like, and even just being there, like looking at the people, I'm like, oh, you look like my cousins, like, oh, you all look
my
like
people.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I have fun doing research, but you can't go down a whole lot of rabbit holes. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You go down a rabbit hole and then you'll realize it's 4 a.m. and you gotta get up in 2 hours. I gotta get up for work in 2 hours.
Right.
This is gonna be a long day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, research is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yes. Especially when you start getting into the nitty-gritty and this, you're like, "Ooh, I want to know what this person's connection to this situation. Oh, now I need to find out this connection. Oh, they came
Right.
from here. Oh, what's about this place and what made them come here?" And then you just
Yes, for sure.
it's like it is the longest tangent you'll ever go on because you went for one specific thing and you end up way over here.
Everywhere else. Oh my god.
Yep. Oh man. But yeah, guys, definitely check out this project. I'm gonna put the link up. It's in the comments. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Definitely check it out. Help us get finish this campaign strong. We got 3 days left. Do you have any stretch goals, Deji, that you're planned still, or?
Yes, we got 2 of them, which was the Nubian man poster, and there was another poster for Death of Innocence, which was the one of the boy.
Okay.
Yeah. So those 2 posters that seemed to be something everybody wanted, and I want to give one more, which is the bookmarks, and hopefully we can close in on that before they close. I'd love to give out those gold bookmarks because you guys have like the black ones and these are the gold ones, which like fit thematically a lot better.
Nice.
So,
how much do we have to hit to get the bookmarks?
35.
Oh, that's so close. Come on, guys. 329.
Yes.
We can do
35. That's one pledge. You literally, that's one of the tiers by themselves. Go ahead and do that because y'all know y'all spend more than that at the con at one booth.
That's so true.
Yeah, I went to the Philly. I was in Philly for ACBOC. I wanted to go to Urban Con, but I didn't make it. I wasn't able to make it.
Oh, Urban Nerd Con?
Yes.
Yes, it for a first year con. It was a really good con. I'm very excited to see the growth with that. And I think the most exciting was, and I did it live, but I was on a panel and one of the guests ended up being in the audience. She came to the audience. She is the first Black assistant producer, but also first female assistant producer for Star Trek. And she's the longest going assistant producer. She was there for 2 of the series. for Star Trek, and she was in the audience. She engaged. She was. We were just like,
Wow.
"Ma'am, you want
You
to
didn't
go
even
here?"
say
She's
2
like,
seasons. You said
"No,
2
I'm
series.
good. Y'all do. I'm here to listen." I'm like, "You can come on up here."
That's amazing.
But they were walking around. The guests walked around, was engaging with a lot of the vendors and stuff like
That's
that,
awesome.
asking questions. Like I said, participating in the panels and stuff. And so, like I said, I'm very excited for next year. I really see this con as more people hear about it, it's going to grow bigger. But it had a great setup, great for the vendors. Great setup for the vendors there, and everything. So I definitely see it definitely growing more from it. So I'm excited for it for next year.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to do that more. That was something I wanted to make a point of doing more this year, but I was only able to go to one.
Yeah. Well, definitely that one, and HBCU Con, which will be April of next year,
Ooh, okay.
which is in Maryland. Definitely that one's at Bowie State University, right in Bowie, Maryland. Definitely look out for that. Get yourself a booth there too, and you can also sign up for panels that you can do some panels, especially
Sweet.
about some of the research you've done regarding um, the different African kingdoms and tribes. I think a lot of people will be very interested in hearing
Yeah.
that, and getting some other people that are that like you reached out to get information, see if they're willing to be part of your panel for it, and
Ooh,
knock it out the park.
that'd be awesome.
You
I
may
might have to
have the
try that.
school coming to you like, "Hey, hi, we want to
Would you
know.
like to teach a new course?
you want to
See?
you want to do a semester here? All of y'all here, we'll have y'all special guests. Oh,
Now I gotta
yeah,
write this
we'll go
down
ahead and
again.
we'll sponsor your book if you go ahead and come."
I always walk away with some knowledge from here. All right.
Exactly.
HBCU con.
But
Yeah.
yes,
No, yeah, that would be
definitely
dope.
look at those two. Those will be great cons, black centered cons, for you to be part of and definitely support. So yeah, definitely check those out. Uh, HBCUcon.org. Org is their
Mhm.
website, and then the urbannerdcon.net is the website for Urban NerdCon. Well,
Awesome.
I could tell you, people still don't understand how I keep everything up here, but
Yes. She be
but
scheduling. That's why she gotta know everything.
Photographic memory.
She be doing all the organizing. I'm like, Dana, what was we talking about with that? Oh yeah, la, 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 la. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
my boss says I have file cabinets up here. They're like, they're going, okay, there you go.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Well,
awesome.
as we're getting close to the top of the hour, but of course, with this being your second Kickstarter for O Kingdom Come, how many more issues are you looking at planning for your story for O Kingdom Come?
I mean, I want to do 3 books, so each book will be about 120 or more pages.
Okay.
So that arc, that siege on Nubia arc, can be completed. Because once somebody else asked me this question, once get into the walls of Nubia, there's a lot of stuff. I feel like with the culture and like things will be a little more difficult to show on a paper, on the page rather. So I gotta find out how I do that. But the 3, this is more contained. Siege on Nubia happens in these 3 books. That'll be about 120 each book.
Yes.
Nice.
So for those that missed your first Kickstarter, do they have an opportunity to get that book on this Kickstarter too?
Correct. So that would be like the first like 20 something pages of this book.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
so there's still another 100 pages that aren't on that aren't on that version. I always envisioned it as a bigger
So
book.
this is the expanded version of the first
Correct.
book.
Yeah. So I always thought of it as a bigger book, but with being in the comic group, I thought maybe issues will work, and no, it won't work for me. I don't think issues will work for me. I think I need it to be to build on a character arc and everything, to be like a book, to be a little more meaty. So I know that arc's done. Rather than splitting it into, if it was like 120, I'd be splitting it into like 4 issues, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a book is more. I can do a lot more with like a book, rather. So yeah, so that was a decision I was really on the fence about that the last time. I'm like, maybe I should do issues 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes it more accessible to them in Nigeria. So I might do something for that they'll exclusive to the continent. But here it'll probably continue as full books.
Gotcha.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So of course we, what you talked about.
Is that just me?
No, I hear like a buzz, and I can't hear her speaking anymore.
Oh, you have a buzz, Dana. Oh no. I don't think she knows.
Talk about.
Okay, you're back. I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to repeat the last 25 seconds.
Okay. I was asking, what projects do you have planned in the future that you can actually talk about?
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I want to finish A Fatherhood Tale, which was my first film. I want to finish that, and then I promised my daughter a book. I want to make her a book about the Kondakas. And book-wise, I think that might be it for books for now. But I definitely want to go back into making more movies and stuff after I'm done with the first one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And as we're getting, like I said, we're about 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Any few things that you want to tell the audience about O Kingdom Come, or any, and of course, sharing how they can follow you?
Yes. O Kingdom Come, you can go to the website. It will lead you to the Kickstarter now, but if there's any changes after the Kickstarter, it'll likely be on the website. You can follow me on O Kingdom Come on all platforms. Should be interesting story. New story to kind of change your perspective on things, and change the way, and might even inspire you to write something a bit different as well. Yes. So new stories, new movement.
Very nice. Very nice.
Fantastic.
Well, of course,
thank you guys for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're very excited. We definitely look forward to you with the next book, so we can hear a little bit more about the next book when you get ready to promote that one. So definitely hit us up. Love to have you back on here. And then, of course, love to probably meet you in person at one of these upcoming
Yes,
that we'll
definitely. I'll do better at getting to one. I was like, oh man, I saw you were going with Freestyle Comics, right?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's that's so cool. I'm gonna just sneak up on her, like, hey, Dana. I was like, oh. Is that me? Okay, it's gone.
Okay, weird.
I think we just got raptured.
Aliens.
Saying their name in vain.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm gonna do a lot better at that this coming year.
Dana, I think you're muted, and I don't know if you're muted because you heard the sound or not.
Oh, am I muted or Dana? Okay, Dana.
No, Dana's muted, yeah.
Okay, yes, you're muted. There you go.
There she is.
But yes, I definitely look forward to thank you at context here. I didn't even know I was muted. All right, interesting. Well, once again, Deji, we are definitely, thank you for being on here. We definitely look forward to having you come back when you have the next book getting ready to come out. We definitely look forward to hearing about that and definitely pushing that on our platforms and everything. So definitely thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your due diligence in supporting not only the African kingdoms through your book, but definitely educating so many around the world about these kingdoms in your writing and
Thank you.
platforms.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
Moana, any last words from you?
Yes, go back to the project, guys. Please, please, please share, like, support. We're as I've said, and probably even more so now, we are all about these BIPOC stories.
Yes.
So, like I said, it's my mission to help our creative community get as many of these stories out into the world.
Yes.
So please do your small part, even if it's a share, tell somebody about it.
Mm-hmm.
Put $5 on it. $5, a coffee.
Yes.
You can put a coffee on this thing.
Thank you.
And your money will go a long way, and it means a lot to our creative community. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Deji, for coming and sharing your energy and your spirit with us. We are excited for you to have funded and have another book coming out, and we'll, as always, be waiting for the next one.
Yes.
And happy to have you back on again in the future. So to all of our viewers, thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all the fun things on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and your favorite podcast platform. And with all of that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Join us again at 8:30. We have a great panel coming up talking about Green Lantern. So you can get your geek on that panel with our wonderful panelists in 30 minutes. So with that said, take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will. So if you put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom, clapped back at the system. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.